we go. Hey everybody. So today I'm thinking, like we said last time, we're gonna do a decent kind of recovery ride. Side note, so this tune-up workout things, I guess we weren't doing those. I can't find them anywhere either, so either I'm just really stupid or they're hiding somewhere. But yeah, so whatever on that. So today what we're gonna do is let's go down here, and there should be a volcano circuit. I think today we should do this volcano circuit. We have the TT bike, so the draft's not going to actually help at all. But I say we just do some loops. Just ride through a couple dozen times. Alright, there we go. So today I'm thinking, let's get into the big ring. There's like no climbing. Actually, I think there's 2 points of climbing, 2 different sections where there's a slight amount of climb. So we're going to use the time trial that has no draft. And we're just going to warm up here. I'm thinking 140 for the next 2 minutes, and we'll bump it up. And I'm feeling 170 to 180 today. And we'll just keep doing laps. Nice like medium warm up for tomorrow. Tomorrow's race has a interesting kind of split to it, where during the group ride parts you can draft and it's just all regular, and then whenever it hits those 3 actual race sections, it switches over to time trials, and there's no drafting. I don't know how much of a change on weight and arrow, or if it just cuts draft, but it's kind of cool. It's interesting. I rolled out quite a bit yesterday after we were done, and then after work, or actually just at the very end of work, I tried to move, and I was like, woo, we're still a little tight. So rolled out a little bit more. It's feeling better today. While I was on a call, I tried to move, and that hamstring muscle right underneath your leg, it just seized up. So I made sure to really roll on that, since yeah, it was not happy. Alright, and our heart rate's off. Now I'm at 64. I am just not having good luck with the this heart rate monitor. Let me check my secondary. Yeah, that one has us at 138. Thanks, Paulson. But we're 121 now, so it's all over the place. So maybe it's not the heart rate monitor, and it's just me. We're gonna go 150 and just kind of spin it out. Yesterday was a little brutal on the legs. I don't know why 100%, because I've done that workout before, but felt just a tad overloaded. But it's good. We'll do a nice, there we go, our race back up. I don't know what's going on with that. Every once in a while it just drops off and then comes right back on, either after adjusting it, or I tried switching the batteries to see if that would help. I found the most reliable way to get it to function again is take like isopropyl alcohol and Q-tips and just clean the heck out of the contacts. It looks like it gets sweat in there and then decides not to work. So let's stay at this 150, 160 for another 3 to 5 minutes. Weidenbacher, thank you. So let's do 150, 160. We'll just hold it here, get everything warmed up. Gonna take an extra warm up today. So with aerodynamics, the faster you go, the more they exponentially increase how much the effect they have. So with us going 18 miles an hour, I don't know how much of a multiplier the time trial bike's gonna have, but we'll see. We'll do 1 or 2 laps with a little bit faster. Oh, and they added the little ghost. That's cool. That was actually from a workout last week where I was doing the same sort of thing of just a bunch of laps, alternating wattage output up to, I think I did up to about medium, zone like 3 laps. But since I wasn't using a time trial, I could draft, so I was kind of hanging out with the group on some, and then broke loose for a while, and then met back up and did it again. Except I already missed the Amonda. I like that bike. But I like the new socks. Or not the new ones, but the change of socks. Hey, it's Jay's behind us. Right there. I've ran into him quite a few times. I remember the last time I ran into him was, or 2 times ago? I don't know. But was doing like just a like 20 something mile workout, and they were at like 80. At that point, it was through the sequoias. Pretty hardcore. Alright, no more sweatshirt. the weather around me just can't decide what to be. It's a mixture of too cold in the morning and just warm enough during the day that, you know, extra clothes aren't comfortable. Alright, so far I don't like the time trial bike. I've spent a bit of time on TT Bikes IRL and I don't like this one. I have more my Orbea, what is it? Something over here. And I really want to get it onto the trainer and do some like actual time trial work. But it's 10 speed. And this trainer's what? So you gotta figure out how to fix that. Because it's nice to be able to switch around bikes or whatever in here, but there's not really a good spot and a good layout for the whole aero bar setup. I guess it can, you know, sit on the hoods, but that's kind of lame. Also, then to shift, thanks God, to shift you have to get out of aero, grab the handles and go from there, versus just having the shifters right up front where your hands usually are. It is kind of weird getting used to that aero position now. Alright, so we're like 180. This should be perfect pace. We're going to hold this for a while. If the heart rate starts getting above like 155 into like 160, we'll reassess, move it around. But looks good now. We'll just keep on cruising. Yesterday I was feeling just good enough that I was thinking today we could do the finish line ride, but once I was awake for a minute, I decided against that. Which is probably best because after like 20 minutes, felt like junk. And I readjusted the fan again, but I don't think it's any better. Since it's tucked up underneath the desk I'm streaming from, the fan hits mostly the desk, which kind of defeats the purpose. But I don't want to bring it out too far, otherwise it's going to be right in the mic, and that's just annoying. Whenever I've done sound checks, you can just hear this, as you all know, the noise in the background, which is annoying. It's like 2 minutes behind. That's the only problem with kind of recovery cooldown, what have you, is whenever you get to ranked segments, they're so much slower. We're like 2 minutes off pace. But for a medium to recovery ride, we're on the money. So this Ghost Rider in front of us is pretty new. I got an email about that update like yesterday, where they said you could then see what your previous pace was, which is kind of cool because I found that it's easy to lose track of what exactly your pace is when it's just the timer. So it's kind of cool. I'm into it. The last practice on this route did 10 laps around the circuit, and then got to the halfway point and turned up the mountain, which that was good for just working on, endurance and then depletion. But I think today we're just gonna forego height and just do time and distance. We'll just stick here on the 180, 190. That's not feeling too bad. Also with the helmets, I still don't know how much of an effect they have, because I've seen a lot of people running TT bikes and the aero helmets, and I think that affects the aerodynamics, but I don't know, like with the headband and the helmet right now that I'm using, the laser is one of the mid aero helmets. I don't know how much they affect everything, or if they have any effect. So I don't think the socks, shoes, or kit have any real effect on your output. I know frames and wheels very much do. Well, in comparison, I don't know how much the actual multipliers are. That'd be interesting to check. There we go. We'll have to get some good carb loading in tonight. Load up for tomorrow morning. Usually the races are around 11 or 12, so we'll plan accordingly. Also, Saturday, Sunday, I want to try, I found some mountain bike workouts. I think that would be kind of fun to mix it up. Switch to a mountain bike, run a couple of those, see what happens. I don't know if any of the courses are different or what. It doesn't look very fun on like regular roads, because you got road and TT bikes that are better suited, we'll say, for the road than a mountain bike. Thus why they're called mountain bikes and not road bikes. But that's fun. Might give it a try. I don't mountain bike that much, and haven't for a little while. I do every once in a while, just because it's good for bike control and modulating power, and I mean it very much crosses over skill-wise, but it is different enough that it's has its own difficulties. I got into downhill for a little while, which was fun. You only really just kind of like, spin up the hills and then hold on the downhills and try to. It was interesting going on the downhills and racing those, since it's a whole different ball game. There's been a couple times I crashed pretty decently. I actually took a Cannondale lefty on a downhill course, and I kind of turned a corner and it was steeper than I thought it was, and just ended up chucking the bike and rolling down. Well, not chucking on purpose, but it disconnected and went on its merry way, and I followed and bought a full face helmet after that, and the shifting was really weird after that, and so I didn't think anything of it. And the day after, whenever I went back doing some climbing up until the course again, my shifting just like wouldn't work, and it was missing shifts and the like. And I'm coming down the course again. It's going okay, and I try to upshift and get some more speed going, and there's like a bunch of weird noises, and so I slow down a little bit and get to the bottom and check behind me, and the rear derailleur, I think it was a Shimano XTR, was just hanging off of it was still connected to the chain. I think it was like one point of contact. I can't remember. It was the connecting arm of the derailleur was just snapped completely off, and it needless to say, did not shift correctly after that. So I ended up, I think I just put the derailleur in my back pocket and requested a pickup, and sadly that bike was borrowed. So I had a very broken, very borrowed bike on my hands, which was interesting to try to explain, but it's all fixed now. The only problem with the buying like clusters in sets and stuff is a lot of them have very specific, unique differences per frame, and it makes it so certain groups don't fit. So you're gonna have to track down an exact copy of some sort of component, which usually, if it's broken, means you've been using it for a while, and means that it's usually out of stock everywhere. It blows, but that's the nature of it. So trying to look around for the exact XTR components to replace it with was kind of a nightmare. I think we had to get and slightly adjust or add some shims or something weird to get it to work again. Now it makes a lot of noise, but it works, and that's the important part. It just clicks a lot whenever you ride. That's also when I found that it's usually better, if you're gonna seriously do downhill, to use a downhill specified bike rather than an all mountain, for the express purpose of usually they're built to take a hit a little bit better. like I don't ride hard enough to really notice the difference between full suspension and just hardtail, since you know you're usually seat down and standing, so you got your legs worth of suspension. So unless you're doing some crazy jumps, it doesn't really come into play. But when you crash, it certainly does. Still fun though. I haven't done it very much, almost at all recently. Like if I'm on a mountain bike ride and it has a split off in the trail of like downhill section and regular trail, of course you're gonna pick the downhill just because it's cooler. But unless there's some crazy jumps, it's usually just your speed that changes the course itself. Because if you just go down a downhill, like a easier downhill course, just cruising, it's not really going to be much different than just a regular trail. And then of course you got like the more hardcore tracks where you can go fast, you can go slow, you can do whatever. It's still going to be a nightmare's worth of a track. Those are always fun to watch, but just not for me as much. It's also really frustrating switching to mountain biking, since it switches from really just grinding out power to a lot more technique. At least here, wherever your wheel is, you're gonna get the power down. But on a mountain bike, you have to be a lot more cognizant of where your wheel is, how slippery the surface is, how that's gonna contribute to the power delivery, all that. You can usually kind of ignore the ground when you're riding on like kind of streets. You just watch like potholes and junk, but a lot less effort needs to be put into it than mountain biking. So long story short, I think we should try some mountain biking runs on here, just for kicks. I want to see how different it is. If it is different, kind of what's up with it. Other than it looks really slow. See, behind this Club Paddy VC, and we have been swapping places with them back and forth. Sadly, in the time trial bikes, it negates, thanks Savage, it negates the draft. So people can draft off you, and you can't draft off people. Damn. Alright, so we're coming in around the same times as previous, so that's okay. We'll shoot for this 7:20, 7:30 time zone, time area, time frame. That's the word. Three down. Ooh, got the arrow boost. Oh, never mind. It ran out. Alright, let's see. To wake it up a little bit more, let's do big ring, slow cadence, same wattage for another lap. Kind of break it up a little bit. Work on breaking it up. I don't know where I was going with that one. But we're doing it either way. Whatever it is. Kind of have to pick it up on the downhill to keep the same wattage though. Nice and easy. Get some more water. I think that's a movie star jersey. Sam Atier has behind us. I always like their team. There's some jersey I just can't figure out how to get. I want. So this sock height that we have on right now, it's like the mid-calf. It's gotten super popular over the past year-ish. And I think they're, they're compression-y. And I don't have any pairs of them IRL, and I want to try them out and see if they make a difference. I know that the UCI banned this one pair, or I guess not pair, but type. Ooh, dang, check that out. Landon is hauling. But they banned this one pair that was it's like up to the knee, and I can't remember what material it was made of. I think it was something fancy, and it was supposed to give you a good 7 to 12 watts, if I remember correctly. We'll say 7 just for sake of accuracy. And it's apparently supposed to be just really good. And the UCI said, no more. It is kind of funny how kits have slowly stretched out from mid-arm down to now it's like you're all the way sleeve to your elbows, and bibs go down to nearly your knees, which is supposed to save a lot of wattage. It's supposed to be pretty good. It's really strange coming from triathlon side of things, since I just missed 2 thumbs up, didn't it? Since those are shorty, since they're like a bib tank top, one piece mid-thigh kind of build, and a little bit tighter usually, since you got to swim in them and you don't want a bunch of material floating around, so they're usually pretty tight. I still really like them. Usually the actual pad part of it is like a fourth of what regular shorts or bibs have. They're usable. remember checking, which one was it? 2XU had some really cool ones that I still use. The ITU style zip up the back ones, and they're pretty awesome. I'm a huge fan. I have I think my last Team USA kit was made by Tier. Last time I got the jersey sent out for those, Tier was like just getting big into the tri scene, and I don't remember how they set it up, but their build was really good. I mean, it was tight. It was very much a race only kind of setup, but pad wasn't too much. It was good, easy to run in. I like that one. It was kind of funny having your name on your butt, since spectators was always checking it out, which felt a little weird at first. But I keep saying but every like 5 minutes, man. All right, 7:30. There we go. That's perfect. But yeah, that was a nice jersey. I like that one. Even after switching to full bike, I still can't get rid of those. I like them. I need to buy a couple more kits. I just tried out Rafa's lowest end bibs, and they were fantastic. I'm tempted now to check out their higher end stuff, because I'm extremely impressed, and it's their lowest end. They were nice, fit well. The grippy bits, you know, like on the legs and stuff, were good. Didn't allow any movement. Big fan of it. I want to try their, like I said, if their lowest tier stuff is that good. I wonder if it's just diminishing returns, or kind of how much of a difference the upper echelon is. I think I did just see a kit from them. The what's it called? They're in the tour this year. Palace and Rafa did a thing, well, with Cannondale, of course, for a team, something education, like some 70s pink getup, and it was so cool. I'm not sure if they're still selling those or not. They looked awesome. They did. I did check Palace's website, which is not expecting them to be doing cycling stuff, and they had a Cannondale Super 6 Evo that had the whatever education paint scheme and whatever. It was so cool. The Super 6 is just, I mean, it's a cool frame overall. And then with the added stuff, it's pretty awesome. I still like the original, like, white and lime green color setup was cool. They had a black and red one that I liked, but the white and lime green was cool. The Palace one did have its own charm to it, though. I can't remember if this stock time trial has any sort of dish on the wheel or not. Thinking about it. I can't remember. Actually, I think there's a way to check. Let's see. There we go. Also, what are these? What's this? Oh, there's... Nope, those look horrible. Those are... We have road bike wheels. That looks pitiful. Actually, that looks very similar to my first time trial setup. I have like super thin, non-aero wheels since I bought the frame. It was another Orbea, and I think I moved my, either came with like zip equivalents of like 202s maybe. I mean, they were thin. They added a little bit of aero, but not nearly as much as any like actually aero wheels. After I made a goal that if like I qualified in one of the bigger races, that I'd go get some real speedy ones. Well, I guess not really, you know, not the Archer and the Aero and all the Archer kind of thing, but still, it's nice. And I went and got the Zwift 808s, and a huge difference in feel, because of course carbon deep dish is very stable, we'll say. They, if you hit a bump, or if you hit some sort of I think it's more called, if you have like a bump, or if there's kind of garbage conditions on the road, you feel everything. It goes right up through the wheel. And with the time trial bike being a lot more rigid, it's not the most comfortable to get used to. Also, they're you know, sew up tubes, so you glue them on and run them at like 120 psi. So the any sort of cushioning from the tire is thrown out the window and into the trash. But you can definitely feel, Garblejud, thank you! You can definitely feel a difference. Except when you hit a good crosswind on those. That is a horrendous feeling. You feel like you're going diagonal. And trying to turn into that was bad. There was one race that I was in, and the turnaround point ended up just being a complete 180. And they had actually blocked off part of a freeway for the race, so when you're on the freeway, you can't really tell how the conditions are as much since you're going so fast. But there's junk everywhere, and just cruising along through, you know, the road's not the best, and there's a little bit of a crosswind, and get to the turnaround point, hit it wide, try to cut in, and man, I was like having to put weight into it, because it's just any sort of wind was catching and pushing you the opposite direction. And then since the, being a time trial bike, the head tube's integrated, so you have very limited steering in comparison to a regular road bike, or I guess a non-integrated head tube bike. And it got a little sketchy there. There was like 2 of those 180 turnarounds, and each one was kind of a monster. All right, let's drop down, pick up the cadence, and keep going. As you can see, there is almost no incline to this ride. It is flat, which is perfect for something like this, where we just need to get some saddle time in and get some miles down. Got the heart rate a lot lower today. This is good. Just gotta keep it steady, and it should be a good old cool down recovery. I was looking into extra parts for this trainer and like what else could be added, and there's all sorts of stuff. There's a Ant Plus connected headwind fan, so you just put it in front of you, and I guess it adapts to how fast you're going, but I don't know how it's any different than a fan. And I still kind of want it. And then there's a climbing additive where you thanks Owen. Oh, gotta get them before. There we go. There's like a climbing thing. Thanks, Dornet. Where you connect the front, and it'll change how elevated the front fork is. Like kind of drag it along horizontally or vertically, I mean. And I don't know how much that would actually affect the difficulty or aid or kind of what that would do. But oh, look at that! Oh, that person is just drifted through. Cossack drift though in front of us. Way to go, Baxter. But yeah, it's like $700 too, and it just goes along with the topography of whatever you're riding on. So it looks interesting, but I don't know how much it does, or how much more realistic it would feel, since you're still in place. I guess I think your pedal strokes would be about the same. It's just where you're sitting on the seat would be a little different, or if you're standing. Or I'd also just be afraid that since the base of the platform's a little small, you'd more easily fall over. Oops. We dropped RPM there. Let's pick that up.
I found that usually to keep the same wattage and change cadence, it's in increments of 10. So like, if we're going 90 right now at 170, whatever, if we drop down a gear, we're going to be needing to go like 97 to 100 in that gear to keep up the same wattage. At least that's what seems to be the consensus from what I've tried. Which makes uphill and downhill a little bit easier to manage, since you can adjust from there instead of just trying to guess and feel it out. So like, let's try it. Let's get to a flat spot actually. And back up. So, we're at 85, 191 watts. We drop down and bring that up to 95. There we go, about 170 something watts. And then of course the topography changes and it screws everything up. I almost feel bad on these rides, getting like good mileage in while not even breaking 1,000 feet of climbing. You know what, we might benefit from some change. Let's see. If we come up here, I think this is lap 4 or 5. Let's see. 5. So if we gotta get those 2 thumbs up. I'm thinking we come up here, get around the corner. Let's do the same kind of rolling hills we did yesterday, just to add some mix up to it. We'll do the that loop. So it should be just around this corner, down the hill. We'll take a left and carry on from there. And left. Hey, check that out. We got another Academy kit. Cool. Bye, friend. I don't know why those arches back there are like see-through. They're like transparent. And I don't know why. Every once in a while there's some things that I can't tell if they're supposed to be that way or I'm just getting some graphical glitch or the mapping got messed up or what. Alright, there we go, we're clear. M. Davis. Nice workout. So I have a mount on my handlebars for my phone, since I use that as the convergence point for all of the telemetry items, and it either clicks in perfectly first try from like the case that it's connected to, or I sit here for like a minute just sliding it all over the mount trying to get it to fit. Alright, so if we go to the right, there's a lot more climbing. So I'm thinking we keep the climbing to a medium, do some smaller hills. We'll hit the small King of the Mountain after Oceanside. Oh, check out that Peloton. It's a lot of dirt. So let's take a left of here, pull the straightaway, go through there, get a nice loop out of it. I like the little village area, it looks so cool. It's so cute. Alright, let's go to the left. I think this one hill will add more height than a full lap on that volcano, since that thing is dead flat. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm pretty stoked about the heart rate today. It is way down. Feeling a lot more recovered. Hey, there we go. Another Academy Rider kit. Or Academy kit on or right, whatever. I don't want to keep up with that shadow. We're doing that later. Tomorrow. This is the sprint we're doing tomorrow. Same distance, same everything. So that ghost in front of us. Peak was at 1,000. Thanks, Tim Ling. Peak was 1,185 watts. We're going for 1,200, or at least break 1,200 in there tomorrow. So we'll just have to. I feel like a better start would get us there, since last night I didn't really start spinning up until like well after those cobblestones, in between the cobblestones and the start. So, you know, you gotta spin up, get to the right cadence, and go from there. So if we start just a little bit earlier. Thanks, Donna. And just like really crank it out, you know, stand up in the drops and just put the weight into it. We should be able to get it. And then of course on this section we'll drop back down. I'm thinking 170 to 180 in between the actual stage race parts of it, just to keep it moving. I tried going a little bit harder the first time at like 190 to 200, and that was a bit too much. And then the last time, I didn't like that first baseline, so I did it again. And I kept like 150, 160 between. and it felt like just enough that my legs started to like go to sleep, you know, and the differential between the actual racing bits and the majority of the ride, discrepancy was too much, and there's a little too much shock in between, especially getting to the volcano where it's like an extended, longer period of time. Hey, check that out, there's a little trail to the left of us, right of us. That's cool. Little running trail. But yeah, so I'm thinking if we keep just around 170, give or take 10, so like 160 to 180 range, at least. That should keep everything awake, and we should be feeling pretty good. Because like right now, let's see, we're at 150-ish, 160, 138 BPM. We're not really, I mean, I was jogging upstairs, so it's not bad at all. So that should be pretty good. So Shepard right here, he has the headband from the ride. And I want to know if that like has any effect weight-wise or arrow-wise or what have you. Because I honestly don't know. All right, so yeah, so this is a loop to the volcano circuit. Let's go to the downtown. I'm thinking we'll do the downtown like Bayside section straight through. There's a decent little pop-up, you know, hill at the end. It's not long, but it's decently steep enough. I'm thinking we get into a low gear, maybe stand up to get some stretch out of the legs. I found that the standing up does help kind of break up the lactic acid and get it moving a little bit more versus being in the same position the whole time. So that should be nice. Plus it's like 200 feet of incline. My goal is to get to 1,000 by the end of it, just so we keep it just a little bit of topography changes. Nothing crazy at all. I mean, that's very little. So it shouldn't be a problem. So we'll just come on through here and keep going. So this like kit and socks and all that, I looked on this website and they have like 1 or 2 jerseys, but not a lot. It makes me sad because I want to buy them. I wish that they like sold this stuff you can get in game. I think that would be cool. Even though I don't really use jerseys very often at all. Especially now that it's getting colder. I'm just always in here. And you don't really need a jersey. You just get whatever is comfortable. Which usually just means something for 15 minutes and then just a kit. Like bibs for the rest. Alright, let's spin up this cadence a little more. Alright, there we go. So here's, if you look ahead of us, it's 1, 2, 3 switchbacks for the King of Mountain ride. So nothing bad. So that jersey in front of us that Etcher has, that's the Rafa Rising. And to get it, you had to do Alpe d'Huez The other one in France, I can't ever remember the name. The one we were looking at like 2 days ago, and one other. And I tried it like last year. So while I was starting to get back in to riding, and the trainer I was using was screwed up, and so I ended up just like spinning my way. Oh, there we go. Spinning my way up Alpe d'Huez at like 180 to 190 watts, so nothing bad. At the time, it was like I felt like I was gonna die, but it would not get the cadence correctly, so I was just spinning my heart out. Like if I think I went to 110 RPMs, and it would peak at 190, not 190, I think flat watts, which was infuriating. All right, let's stand up a little bit. And needless to say, I did not get that jersey. I also missed the race. The times it was reporting were different than my time zone for some reason. I guess it was using a different NTP server than I was. And so I got there, I got all ready to go, and I had never done a race before, so I'm like, this feels just like a regular ride. This is so weird. And I didn't see anybody, and I was like checking around, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then I finished it, and then I checked the page, the front page when you log in. I was like, all right, let's see how many I have left. And I was like, you have 3 rides left. So I then found out that that did not count. So then I adjusted, got the timing right, and tried to do the France one like the day after, and my endurance was trash. So I got like a third of the way up, like it was pitiful, and just blew up. It also sucked because it was the same trainer, so the wheel wasn't directly connected. It was just a pressure fitting against the actual rubber of the tire, which slipped all the time. And like it was still stuck on that weird cadence issue, and it didn't matter what gear you were in. Like I was at the highest gear I could, big ring in the front, smallest ring in the back, so it's max gearing, and 190 watts maximum. So I was just spinning my way up there. I was tired, and I just blew up like a third of the way there. I've been riding for like an hour and 48 minutes. It was only like a fourth of the way up. And it just exploded. It was a sad day. So, no jersey. They don't usually bring back jerseys either, which kind of sucks. I've seen very few jerseys come back. All right, let's stand up for a second. Yeah, so we were like 200 feet higher than we were before. And we still have 200 meters to the finish line. I don't know the conversion between meters and freedom units. Nice job, Graham. 250, that's a good time. Nice job, Womack. I like this course. It's nice and fun. Where'd he go, Thomas? Ooh, he's in a... From the screen, he's in like zone 2. Where'd he go? Usually if you get a PR and your zones are in the more endurance, long range side of things, it means that you've done a heck of a lot of work bringing up your FTP, and then you're just going back through older routes. There's a couple courses that like I haven't ridden in a long time, so you're just cruising through at like whatever, and you're getting PRs, and it almost feels disingenuous since it doesn't feel hard at that point to get them. Thanks, Baron. So we come down, there's like one or two more little blips, and then as you can see from the top left hand, right hand corner, I cannot get those right. Right hand corner, there's a little drop, and we come back up, and then we're on a nice little downhill, and then we got like 2 more bounces before we're back to the ocean front area. So we should get around 1,000. I cannot, there we go. That big ring just evades me. I have to be super low in gearing to get it onto there. It's not quite as bad as on the time trial, since that front ring is so much larger. Even in the bigger rings, the easier ones in the back, trying to switch from the smaller in the front to the larger in the front is a nightmare. I had to do some weird like cadence hops to try to like almost fling the chain into the correct position, which was really annoying. There's probably some settings in the firmware for Di2 to adjust it and force it to hop correctly, but I feel like the layout is just good enough right now that I don't want to screw with anything and cause any extenuating circumstances with the other gears. It's like the big ring jump is the only problem I have, and the rest of them work really well. Like I feel like I can get the power where I want it other than that. So I don't really want to mess with it too much and end up with side effects, you know. It's a nice part about time trial bikes is the downhill is pretty awesome. Okay, so if you look to our left, there's like a little gate, and what looks to be a mix of like trail and track, and I think that's a running course, but I don't know, because I don't think there's any mountain bike specifics like courses, but I haven't ridden it enough to know. So I know there's a couple rebel routes, and I don't know how to get to those yet. So, all in all, I just need to do more research on what the heck is going on. but I refuse to run. I don't want to. I've done it enough already. I don't want to run. We bike, that's good enough. Don't want to run. Running makes me sad. There we go. Okay, we have like one more hill, so we'll probably be able to get a solid 1,000-ish feet with a little more time. Not feeling bad at all. That PR that we have for the hilly loop is going to get pretty demoralizing since we have like 4 minutes left to finish it halfway. But again, it's a recovery. It's inevitable. Can't change it. We go slow today, so we can go fast tomorrow. Or at least that's the goal. And I'm not the biggest fan of the time trial bike so far. I want to switch back. I want to go back. Ooh, it's all cobblestones. With the terrain effects on the on this trainer, you have to make sure to like shift around going through those, since the effect actually makes it a little bit harder, which I find very helpful in races, since it then like forces you to move your cadence and pace around a little bit instead of getting sedentary. But it is kind of scary sometimes, since you then know that it's going to hurt. Oh, we missed one, dang it. Oh, no, there we go. There we go. Thumbs up for everybody. Or right-ons, or whatever. That one disappeared. There we go. There's always so many PRs coming through there, it's awesome. I'd be interested to know where and what like areas have the most amount of riders, because I feel like this one probably the most, because there's some of those segments. I like that color scheme on that Z1. There's a couple segments where there's just like a continuous confetti cannon going off for PRs. Kind of cool. Alright, we have like 100 feet left. Get another solid 5 more miles in. That'll get us the last 100 feet. Hop up a little bit down this hill. can see the volcano in the background. That's cool. I always forget that's there. So I know there's a day-night cycle, a day-night cycle here, as you can tell with the headlight and the tail light on the bikes. I don't know how it works though. Like I know there's a weather system, and usually the pacers will call out something and the weather will occur, but I don't know if the day-night cycle is like dependent per client on how like long they've ridden, or if it's a global or what. But it does make it kind of fun. I could go for it getting a little bit darker, since it does look like the night cycle looks more like there's a cloud over the sun for a little while and then back to normal. We might be able to get through the rolling hills with like 950 feet. Get some more water. Been trying to ration it out a little bit more. Oh, that hilly loop. So the little timer showing when the place expires was covering up the one. I thought that it said that we had someone riding this at 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Which, all in all, 13 minutes is blazing fast. But 3 minutes is unattainable. That confused me. Look at all the orange kits. Yeah, so you fellow right there at the top above Logsden, I thought that said 3 minutes 45 seconds. Which would be quite fast. Let's drop down, we'll speed it up a little bit. Got the heart rate way down from yesterday. That's good. Alright, let's take a left up here, and then we'll go straight, go through the aquatic section, the Ocean Boulevard. Oh, that's a cool disc. I think that's Vision makes that disc. After the race, we should look into min-maxing some bikes. That'd be fun. But even if min-maxing means the zips aren't used, I don't care. Zips are my favorite. I'm using zips. So min-ish max. Or max-ish mid. Whatever. Same thing. The average wattage is going to be like 150 today. But it's recovery. We're recovering. We'll make up for it tomorrow, speed-wise. So the whole course for tomorrow is around, I think when all is said and done, it's like 16 miles. So we'll hammer it out and make up a course on the way back, because I don't want to leave it at 16 miles. I've tried to hop off it out before and the lake just sees up. So I'm thinking what we might do is there's some fun other courses I don't think I have finished. Other like routes. So we should probably just finish, since we end on a downhill, we'll just finish the downhill. And then we can hop out, swap to something interesting, and just do a nice cool down. And then we can call it. That should be fun. I'm excited. We're gonna go hard, it's gonna hurt, but it's gonna be good. Look at the whale. It's so big. It's a big whale. And the dolphins. Venerate is hauling. Look at him go. That's awesome. I like this little route. It's fun. So there's the mountain bike. It's always strange hopping onto the mountain bike and being like straight up and down. The aerodynamics are not as present on that. And it just feels so off. For kicks, we might actually want to, I'll see if I can adapt the time trial and check on my mountain bike. That'd be kind of fun to switch instead of just in-game bikes, swap the actual ones and see how it feels in-game. Would be fun. I swear this is dead flat. So that rock formation looks like a UFO. That's cool. And there's a manta ray. Every once in a while there's like a submarine that shows up. But I don't know if there's like a trigger for it or that just does it for fun. Got all dark. I wonder why. Why is it so dark? was a crunchy shift. Come on, get in the big, there we go. All right, go through the dirt, and we'll take a right, wrap around. There's that little hill back to the Italian village area. That'll put us at probably dead on 30 miles and like 1,100 feet climbed. That's solid. Italian villas, that's what it's called. Recoveries are never as exciting. It's the worst part. It's like if you start to get your heart rate up and start kicking in a little bit, it's bad, which sucks. I don't like it. If only you didn't have to recover. It would be so cool. There we go. 29 miles, 991. We're probably gonna finish up just around the same place we did, I think, yesterday. Cool. I agree with Kian. I don't know if that's a in the moment verb, eat crisps, or like a directive, or what. But I like it and I agree with him. They should be eaten. Thousand feet, and whoa, it just darted out on the road. It still freaks me out when you get into head-on collisions with people. Just it's been so many years of that being like the worst thing that could happen that I still jump a little bit. It's so dumb. All right, we are out of water. I've been holding on to 2 goo shots for tomorrow so we can do a little bit longer of a ride. We'll grab 2 water bottles. That'll be good. I'm pretty stoked. I like that jersey. That one in front of us, like the purple, dark purple one. It's awesome. Thanks, Matthiasen. Alright, I'm thinking top of the hill, or at least this part, and then we'll take left, up, over, and I think we'll call it in the villa area. Nice, 30 miles. Will probably be 1,050-ish feet climbed. Not too bad. Kept the heart rate low. All set for tomorrow. Yep, secondary heart rate monitor showing like 118. So we were good. I think this one just dropped off. What is it, 99? What is going on? Oh, actually no. Secondary is like 114, 115. So it looks like this one's under-reporting a little bit. So I wish we saw what yesterday was. If we're able to get to 201 on this, and it's keeps dropping down. Okay, 133. What in the world is going on? Alright, whatever. Either one works. We're set. Now everything's all over the place. And we missed the turn. Oh well. Whatever. Let's go across this bridge. There's a hill at the end. We'll stop before that one. Slow down even more. Just roll on through. Thanks, Hernandez. All right. Stop by the building up here. Hour 36, 30 miles, 1,000 feet. Slow but good. Again, with recoveries, there's never anything to write home about. If you do it right, it's just like not fun. All right, we're set. Let's see, we're gonna roll right through this segment starting line, or not. And oh, cool! There we go. All right. Thank you all for coming. Okay, so tomorrow we'll see. I don't know when the race actually is. Because I still can't figure out how to see the next days. I'll post on Twitter or something. I'll see if I can find times and stuff that lines up. Cool. Thank you all. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.